Hello YouTube, this is Super Person. I'm here to do a hopefully short video. It's my second time recording it. Go away. It's my second time recording it, and the last one went up to 20 minutes, and I'm really trying not to do that anymore. So when it hit 20, I was done. I'm like, that's enough. I obviously was going off topic again, because it really shouldn't be that long. You see YouTubers make videos in like 10 minutes, and they do fine. So this video is about shifting. The different shifts an Otherkin or Therian can have. And just as a pre-definition for you guys, Otherkins, because I don't know if I told you or explained, because I say Otherkin and Therian quite a lot. I'm going to go ahead and define it again. An Otherkin is someone who believes they're connected, they are an animal that has never existed, such as dragons, phoenixes, mermaids, centaurs, anything of that nature. Where Therians are physical animals you can see or have existed on our Earth, like lions, tigers, bears, giraffes, dinosaurs, stuff like that. Anything that has existed and is proven to exist on our physical land. So that's just to get that out the way so you understand. Now, there are many different shifts that an Otherkin and a Therian may have. And you don't need to have the shifts to be considered one. I'm sorry, I'm hearing things. Don't need to have shifts to be considered one. Some may have all these shifts I'm going to name. Some have none. Some have more of one than the other. Some have more of the other one than the one. By definition, you do not need to have any of these shifts to be considered a Therian or an Otherkin. They happen. They've been not documented, but it is lots of Therians experience this, but that doesn't mean you have to have it, and if you don't have it, doesn't mean you're not a Therian Otherkin. If you believe you are an animal for whatever reason, then you are a Therian Otherkin. You don't need to have the shifts. But maybe by defining these shifts for you, you can look at it and go, oh, well, I have this shift. Thank you for telling me that, for defining that shift, because maybe you didn't know. So let's just get into it so this isn't a long video, because there's quite a few shifts. Okay, there are the most common, I believe. You have mental shifting, which I mentioned before. Mental shifting is where you take on the mentality of your stereotype. This can range from a slight change in attitude to walking on all fours and trying to fly. The shift can also make a person lose the ability to think in words in favor of thinking in pure awareness. You might also lose control of yourself during this time. You will, I can't say you will know when you have a mental shift, but it clicks into me, I know, if it's subtle or not. It's a weird, you'll know if you're having a shift like that. Especially if it gets to the higher range of it, like when you're on all fours saying you know when you're mentally shifting. I don't want to make this a long video and see my experiences, but you should know for the most part. So mental shifting. Your mind clicks, that's why I can describe it, clicks to think more like your animal type. It can be slight or it can be extreme. It can be in the middle. Then you have a spiritual shift, which is when your aura, astral body, or spiritual self is turned into your stereotype. Any person that can astral project can perform this shift since it takes place on a non-physical plane. Interesting one. Once again, never astral projected, so I've never done that one. But defining these for you. A physical shift. When a person physically becomes his or her stereotype. This is the most controversial shift for a number of reasons, and no solid evidence has been provided. If you hear anyone say they physical shifted, do not believe them. I don't care if they sound genuine. I don't care if they swear to anything that they've done it. Unless they can provide you with something that cannot be tampered with, some sort of evidence that they have shifted, do not believe them. It is what's called fluff. It is a lie. It's attention grabbing, or maybe they confuse the physical shift with a dual mental and phantom shift. That can confuse you when that happens. Because in the moment when you're both phantom shifting and mentally shifting, it almost feels like you physically shift. But you don't. So please do not believe physical shifting. There is no evidence that it exists. Of course, I'd love for it to exist. Don't get me wrong, that would be fun, but it doesn't. If you have done that and you're mad that I don't say it exists, please provide evidence. Like, if you have proof, sweet. I would love to see proof. I'm not going to be like, I don't want it to happen. Yes, I would love for it to happen. Please provide proof and I will applaud you. You'll get a Nobel Prize. I will follow your technique and we can fly off to the sunset together and in our real forms. But, I'm kidding. But, yes, physical shift. Totally controversial. Do not believe anyone. Other shifting, you have aura shifting. An aura shift is when a person changes the shape of their aura field to add their stereotype. Never done that, I don't think, but interesting thing. Aura shifting. Then you have astral shifting. Astral shifting is where the shifter goes into the spirit world and shifts there. It can take a while to work yourself into the right frame of mind for this. So it's not as easy as aura shifting, which you can do anywhere and get away with. Dreaming of shifting into your animal form or being in your animal form counts as astral shifting as well. Yeah, so astral shifting. By the way, I'm reading this from a website. I will go ahead and put a link to the website below to give them credit for this. I mean, I know some of the shifts because I experienced them or I've read about them or heard about them, but I want to read from a more, at least in text, and get it across easier than me explaining it. But yes, aura. What did I just do? Astral shifting. Astral shifting. I'd done that before because I dream shift, I guess. They count that as astral shifting. I consider that just dream shifting, but this one says astral. Then you have a very common one. I think most common is the mental one in this one. So yeah, mental shifting is common, and then this one is phantom shifting, a very common shift. It's phantom shifting is when you physically feel invisible parts of your stereotype body part, like on yours. Like feeling actual ears or tail. These phantom limbs can even overlap the normal limbs in one's body, such as feeling paws instead of hands. Interesting one. It's hard to describe, but it's an interesting one. You have dream shifting, which I'm surprised they even had this up here because they already said it in astral shifting. But dream shifting, a shift occurring in a dream. While in a dream shift, you are in your stereotype form. This is, as said before, a form of astral shifting. I don't want to go long on these. Let me just check the time. Okay. Of course, I have dream shifted. I do that a lot. And I will say from personal experience, I think dream shifting is the most rewarding shift of them all. Because if you do a dream shift on top of a mental shift at the same time, like you're in your dream physically, I would be a dragon, and then mentally, I'm now a dragon. Nothing beats that. It's so euphoric. Great times. Oh my god. Nothing can beat being like one like that in a dream. Just because it's the only way you can experience being yourself. When you wake up, you're back as a person. And you're like kind of bittersweet about it. Like, yay, I'm missing out on what I was just doing in my dream, but I'm awake again, yay. For me, it's a bittersweet thing, especially when I wake up and I'm like, oh, I had a great dream about me being a dragon. Here I am, not able to fly or do anything. But anyway, dream shifting, it's a great thing. Then you have cameo shifts. A cameo shift is a shift in which you become a different animal instead of your main stereotype. So for me, I can have a cameo shift of like a wolf, which I've done before. And you're like, it's not like it's a new stereotype. I'm not that I'm a wolf and a dragon. It's just, I've had that once before where I had a dream where I shifted into a wolf. Some people wouldn't consider that a cameo shift. I do, because it had sort of a mentally shift along with that. It wasn't just me as a human running in a wolf form. It was very deep and weird, and it happens. So if you're a tiger Therian, maybe you cameo shift into a wolf or another cat or a dolphin or so on and so forth. So cameo shifts, they happen. They may not mean anything at all. They just kind of, I don't know why they happen. They just kind of happen sometimes. So that's like the main shifts. This also goes into having a voluntary or involuntary shift. A voluntary shift is obviously when you willfully wanted to shift and you shifted because you wanted to do it. Involuntary shift is when it happens and you're forced to shift. And an emotional shift is when you shift during a certain emotion like stress or anger. Kind of cool. I generally have involuntary ones. I can't willfully shift at all, honestly. Like, I can't make myself shift. My spirit guide can help me shift occasionally, but I can't do it alone. Like, I can't just be like right here in front of you going, I'm going to shift on camera for you mentally and just go and wait for it. It's not going to happen. Like, if I'm going to shift, I'm going to shift. And if I'm not going to shift, I'm not going to shift. There is no middle ground for me. I can't just go, I feel like shifting and shift. I can't go, I don't feel like shifting. Like, okay, an involuntary shift happens all the time, but you can hold it back. It's not like it's going to happen. You can't stop it, but you just kind of go, oh, no, I feel a shift coming on. It's hard to describe, but with me, I can sort of feel it coming. And you're like, uh-oh, And if you don't want to do it, you can kind of suppress it, which doesn't feel great. You want to let it out, but you can't, so you got to suppress it. And then at the right time, if it's still there, you can let it go. And if not, you can't willfully shift. At least I can't, so I can't let it go. An emotional shift, I have yet to really... I don't get a lot of emotions anyway, so... Not that I'm not an emotional person. It's just I don't get angry ever, so I don't know if anger would stress me enough to shift. I don't get sad too often, and sadness doesn't make me shift. It does not. Of course, I get sad occasionally. It does not make me shift. But anyway, just keep this video as short as I possibly can without going on this tangent. That is basically all the shifts. So let me go over it again. Mental shifting is when your mind clicks into that of the animal. Your awareness shifts and you become more like your animal. Either you're slightly shifted or you're on all fours running around, lost your sanity kind of thing. Once again, there's lots of variations in mental shifts, but that's my easy way of saying it. Then you have phantom shifts, which are the hand shifts, like your horns or your nose.
Virus database has been updated.
Thanks, Avast. You feel a phantom body part kind of thing. Phantom shifts. What's another one? You have cameo shifts, which are something you shift into an animal you're not normally. Like me shifting into a wolf. I'm a dragon, not a wolf, but it happens. You have dream shifting when you shift in your dreams. And you have astral shifting when you shift in the astral planes. You have aura shifting when you shift your body's aura. And you have the different voluntary and involuntary shifts, which is basically just saying, did you want it to happen? Can you make it happen? Kind of thing. So that is all the shifts, guys. I don't want to make this a long video, but, that's basically everything with shifts. Not too much into my experience. I'm trying to make it short, but you know me. I can't help it. It's already 13 minutes. But thanks, guys, for watching. If you have any suggestions about what you want to see, let me know. And, of course, I'll make a video on it in times like this where I can. If not, I'll make it eventually. Or I'll reply to your comment if you have a question. So thanks, everybody, and you have a super day.